Alright, welcome to this episode. We're going to show you how I created this award-winning design for a reading nook in Bilbao. You see the materials that I used. Tuscany hickory, mountain ash for the floor, some ancient white pottery here, silver birch tree for the chair, and pure white pillows. You see also I used no extreme contrast, so instead of pure white I use dust, and instead of black I use Gibraltar to match also this floral pattern on the wallpaper, which is also not clearly white and black if you look at it. As a contrast piece, instead I used this door frame, and that also helps from a harmony perspective to separate the two sides. And we also have white here in the back, so it's white, dark, and that creates a nice contrast, which in turn means that everything else should be less contrasty, and that's why I chose more subtle hues, but still with some nice texture on it, like on those on the vase, for example. I'm very happy with the design. I think it's not I think it's not extremely spectacular, but also when you're sitting there, you actually want to read your book. It doesn't have to be too colorful to be cozy. And let's have a quick look at the competition, which was quite good, to be honest. So I really do like the second place here, with the blue and then those beautiful color accents on the pillow and on the vase. I might have picked a different color for the cup here, maybe something blue to link back to the wallpaper. That's a little bit too playful, and that's maybe what cost that person the first place. Otherwise, also very cozy, a bit more clean, a bit more modern, and in good shape, that apartment. Third place has a beautiful wallpaper with those floral patterns, and also very well picked up on that with that beautiful vase and some nice wood here. Very calm. Again, this cup has a color tone that's nowhere else in the design, and maybe something white or bright green would have worked better. But otherwise, also good job. A very good job here. Very interesting. This one is a bit too boring, in my opinion. Sometimes that helps, but those vertical lines make the room appear quite tall. That's fine. But I'm lacking something interesting here. At least an interesting pillow, for example, to make this design stand out a little bit more. Or a pattern like we see here on the chair with the natural white. It's a little bit used, and that's great because it shows that people are actually using it, and it's believable with the crackled aged surface here of the vase. And here you see the cup and the teapot can be the same ceramic, both in white, and that's totally fine. There's also natural white on the door. Overall, cool design, I would say. I don't like the wallpaper. It's very boring, and maybe with a different wallpaper, this used look plus a dark blue wallpaper, for example, would have been even nicer to look at than this current place, which is beautiful but almost too perfect, too much like a catalog. So I like this used look, but with the contrast of the blue wallpaper, that might have been a winner. Here we see the contrast again, this time in green. A beautiful idea, and also with the green teapot, linking the accessories to the room. The pillow, yes, maybe a bit too strong, because here we already have the contrast in the wall and door pattern. So I would have gone with a pillow in white to connect to the flowers instead of this very extreme pattern. And also because all the other tones are very subtle, so the pillow really stands out, and it's not that important to have to do that. This one here is an excellent mix of modern accessories in an old apartment. So the pink teapot and the pink pillow together with gray, I personally like that a lot. Also the dark shade of the vase, good connection to the wallpaper, the mural here, but my experience with ReDecor is also that pink is not such a well-received color for whatever reason, and maybe that's why people didn't like it. So with this beautiful wall mural, I might have chosen just a simple chair, a wooden chair in brown, and stay in that color scheme. Yeah, and now we're getting more extreme. Those colors work together, but as a concept, as a cozy reading nook, this is just yeah, not use case focused, right? So this is great for nightclub, but not for what the user wanted here. Now here we have a very Japanese inspired design. It's possible. It's okay. I understand why people maybe didn't like it. There's maybe too many circles going on. The chair could have been in white here rather than the used look, because this is a very, very clean design. So this has this Japanese kind of perfectionism, also the reflective material here on the vase. So in that sense, maybe I would have picked the same white ash here for the chair, but a pleasant modern design, not typical for this French building. And lastly, we have those wallpapers. Again, pink coral is not appreciated at ReDecor. It's not my opinion, it's just my experience. And otherwise, I think it's an interesting way of having something old recolored in a modern way. Maybe just here also the tile floor is a bit too modern and too cold. And this with a wooden floor could have worked better, but a great job overall. So now I want to show you how I created this design, and I start with the wallpaper. I think there were some patterns that were given, and I had this wallpaper from a previous job, playing around to also see the mural, here some nice marble, but I also needed to understand what would the user, the person who's living there, most likely have on the wall or want to have on the wall. And I realized it's a person who likes to read books, who spends a significant amount of time in this chair looking outside and contemplating and dreaming away. And I feel this wallpaper really helped to inspire, but create some sense of nature without being too much a photograph of a forest or something like that. So this wallpaper initially spoke to me, and now I'm searching for a good wood color to go with it. I initially tried to always keep the contrast low and throw in some colors, and then find some element to spark interest. So that's why I'm starting first with this gray wood to almost blend in with the wallpaper, and I'm just adding some more materials to get a better impression of the overall look and feel, because we are designing a room and that has many elements. So here you see me just playing around with some of them, and now I'm already searching for that particular element that makes this design not look dull. Right now it works, but it's boring. It might even be good as a design for somebody who's spending a lot of time there, but let's not also forget ReDecor is a mobile app with a lot of amateur designers as well, and the first impression counts, and this design has to hold up against something else that's potentially very flashy, and so I need some element that makes this design grab the user's attention. And I felt I found this in the wooden frame here, so that's why I'm coming back to the frame, and now I'm looking for different tones. This is maybe a little bit more grease style with the blue. I do like the coral as well. It always works with gray very well, but it's not that much appreciated, unfortunately. And I feel this brown wood has some sense of Asia, Japanese style in it. It's a very strong contrast, but it's also very natural, and I want to keep it natural because that's the connection to the wallpaper. If I color it, it's just a color, but with the wood, it's nature, and I have also the nature pattern on the wallpaper. Now I'm pretty happy with the wood, so I'm just double checking on the wallpaper to see, now that the room is furnished, if there is any other wallpaper that works well. I love the blues, blue, white and brown, always works well. One of my favorites, of course, but then again, I don't always have a good room for that particular wallpaper. Blue and brown I can use for sleeping room and office or any other space, but this floral wallpaper, which I happen to have already in stock, is a little bit harder to use for different rooms, and here I felt this really works with this setup, with this a little bit old school chair, so that could be a room where a wallpaper makes sense. The vertical lines are interesting, but they draw the attention out of the picture, and I want the attention to be in the picture. And this wallpaper, also because it's a little bit darker than the center, draws the attention to the center, and that's what I want to achieve here.